Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Roy's Tie-Dye Sci-Fi Corner. This is episode number 305, The Beastmaster, the classic 1982 sword and sorcerer film, starring Marc Singer, Tanya Roberts, John Amos, and Rip Torn. And with me tonight to discuss this classic from the 80s is my friend, my co-host, the one and only Mr. Ross Amico. Hey, Ross.
Hey, Roy. What are we doing here on Sunday night?
Back in the day, Ross, you and I used to do Friday night and Sunday night.
I know, we were crazy, especially in October for the Halloween movies.
We would pack them in, Ross.
We did pack them in. That was COVID for you. The one good thing to come out of COVID.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, just want to say hi to the folks that are out there that are joining us. And first up, I see Shari's on first. Hi, hon. She's downstairs and she's saying hey to us.
Hey, Sherry.
And Randy is joining us from Wisconsin, and he says he's in an outdoor music event and will join soon. Randy, you are a true follower of this show, just like everybody else, but you're always at all these wonderful locations when you're tuning in, and you always tune in even when you got other stuff going on. So it's much appreciated, and I'll say enjoy the music, and if you can join us later, please do so. But just thanks for stopping on and to say hi. We appreciate it. And Michelle Diato is out there joining us from Connecticut. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Good to see you out there. And she's saying hi to us and hi to the chat. And Jeff Rubel joining us from Utah. Welcome, Jeff. Thanks for being out there.
Omega Man.
The Omega Man. Yeah. So, Ross, how was your weekend?
It was fine, except for the Beastmaster.
No.
How about yours?
Supposed to say, Ross. Do I have to
pull over on already? That's what happens when I get on too late. I forget that the show's already started.
The coffee's worn off, folks. Ross is in Ross form. He's in raw. He's raw Ross.
Yeah. Roy messaged me. When did you message me? This afternoon. And I said,
probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I need to drink a case of Red Bull. Yeah, which I didn't do, by the way. But
yeah, I think so.
Well, how was your weekend before we get into this?
It was good. It was good. It was busy. I was, doing some stuff. Doing some shopping and stuff. Help my folks out, and whatchamacallit, church was nice this morning. And also Rye came down, which was nice. So we got to spend some time with him. Rye was back. He flew in from Texas yesterday morning at 6 a.m. He had a race in Brooklyn. So as soon as he got off the airplane, he hightailed it to Brooklyn to make the race. And there were two races. He did one in the afternoon, and I think he said it was around. I think it was around 1:30, 2 o'clock, somewhere around there. And then he had another one that was at 8:30 last night.
What time did he get up? If he had to land at 6 o'clock?
He got up really early. He was probably up like 4.
He didn't sleep, got up, ran 2 races, and flew back today. All right.
Well, he didn't fly back today. He's staying. He's here until
okay. All right. Well, he has youth on his side, is what he has.
Yeah. He said that this is something that you would try to do, and this is something that I always try to do. It's like cramming in all this stuff, and
wow.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
He is, and the most important thing is he had fun with the race. So it was good.
Shall I start?
No, I'm just gonna. Yeah, we'll start in a second. Randy said it's more of a parking lot party. Oh, okay.
No, okay, so we know how we rank.
Yeah. And Shari said, "You mean you didn't appreciate the tone, tan, grease bodies? Lots of laughs. Ryan could have played the Beastmaster." Laugh. Yeah, Ryan's in good shape.
maybe they'll reboot it
for the umpteenth
time. Dye his hair blonde, though. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Oh boy. So yeah, lead off, McDuff.
Yeah. Lead on. All right. this is the thing. Why we selected Beastmaster. Roy says to me on Thursday, the show airs on Friday. Roy says to me on Thursday, it's partially my fault because I didn't reach out either, because I'm doing stuff during the week too. Roy says, what do we want to do tomorrow? I said, man, well, in fairness to the audience, people have to have time to watch these things. So we couldn't pick anything too obscure because, it only gave people one evening to watch it before we wind up discussing it. So I said, all right, we got to pick something that everybody's seen. So I said, I don't know, pick something that was people, it was on cable all the time when we were growing up. I said, how about Beastmaster? Roy goes, all right, Beastmaster. Well, I threw out a couple options, but Roy says, all right, Beastmaster it is. Now, I had never seen Beastmaster. I had never seen the Beastmaster, despite the fact that it was on incessantly. It was on so much, the comedian Dennis Miller quipped that HBO stands for, hey, Beastmaster's on. And TBS at a point, was jokingly referred to as the Beastmaster station. So anyway, so I figured, all right, we're going into this. This is going to be like, this is going to be some fun, kid-friendly, lighthearted fan. It's going to be a light romp. And I put it on and it said Don Coscarelli film, the guy who directed Phantasm. Like, oh my God. What am I watching? And why is it so popular? Oh my God, the longest 2 hours of my life. But anyway, yes. So this is what I expected. And what we got is we got Disney ferrets. Okay. We got blackface tiger. We got horrific bat people. TNA for dad. Witches with porn bodies and Eric Stoltz faces. And JJ's dad from Good Times.
All wrapped up in one.
Yeah, something for everyone. But the punchline, the hilarious part, is that we picked this, because of the short notice, and then Roy says, hey, you want to do it on Sunday night? Where? We could have chosen anything, but we chose the Beastmaster.
See, I didn't realize that you had never seen this movie before.
I had never seen it, and I had to watch it, force myself to sit down and watch it yesterday afternoon. Yeah.
Shari is blowing up the comments. So, yeah, she said, I just kept wondering when he was going to eat. Lots of laughs.
Yeah.
And Marc Singer. She also said, I never saw this film. I found it entertaining. It made me laugh, except for the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then she said that there was a golden eagle too.
Yeah, it was deliciously bad, deliciously entertaining to a point.
Yeah.
But then it was just a little too much after a while. In my humble opinion, I don't know how you felt about it, but
I mean, I've seen this movie. I'm one of those people that has seen this movie many, many times because it was running on those, I'll say they weren't networks, on those cable channels.
Right.
I've probably seen it actually, I haven't seen it that many times. I've probably seen it about 5 times, but here's the thing. When I've seen it, I maybe saw it from beginning to end once.
Right.
And then that was probably X amount of years ago. Before that, I would catch parts of it and see it. And then it would be, I'd walk away from it. Then I'd catch another part of it. You remember the movie that we covered? It was, oh my goodness. It was the Mario, the Italian film.
Oh, Mario Bava. Yeah. The Planet of the Vampires.
Planet of the Vampires. Yes. Or Demon Planet. That film, it's like that film. I would always catch that film in the same part all the time. And I would always see it on Channel 5 out of New York City. And they would always be running it. It was always being run. And I would never see it from beginning. I maybe saw it from beginning to end maybe one time. And that was probably like about 25 years ago. But before that, it was always catching it in that same area where he finds out that his brother is killed and aliens are inhabiting their bodies. And then, they have to go to the other ship and then going, and I digress. But anyway, Hey, Catherine is out there. Welcome, Catherine. She says, "Hi, boys." What are we
You
watching?
missed it, Catherine. Good night.
Oh.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. We've exhausted it. We're watching.
We are watching the Beastmaster.
The Beastmaster. One of your favorites, I'm sure.
Hey, May is out there joining us from Canada. Welcome, May. Good to see you out there. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Sherry's saying, which part did you catch it on? The shower waterfall scene? the shower scene?
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. Tanya Roberts. Yep.
I was convinced that I too had seen at least some of this movie, but I didn't watching it. I convinced I saw not. You know what I mean? I probably turned it on and I saw the ferrets. I saw the ferrets. I saw Marc Singer with the ferrets. You know, running. And I thought, okay, it's this delightful kids film that I'm not going to watch. You know, because it seemed like it was like a soft. You know, there were two Conan movies made in 1982. There was Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there was this one that took no credit. You know, it was I think it was unauthorized Conan, is what it was. It's like John Milius must have given the extra $5 to the Robert E. Howard estate, so he got the rights to the Conan name, and they just made the same movie here with ferrets, because it is the same plot basically, except for the connection with the animals and everything. I mean, it's the, you know, it's you got the cult with all the zealots following, you know, whatever. It's not a snake cult this time anyway, but you know, he's got the human sacrifice, and they go and they raid the village and they kill the everybody in the village and his parents, and then there's got to be you know, the guys with the winged helmets that are out of like you know, Frank Frazetta, you know, or, Wagner or Alexander Nevsky. And you've got you know, lots of ostentatious practice with the sword, and then the big revenge, you know, and that's kind of the, I guess, what are you going to do with a barbarian movie? But it cracks me up because of all the Peplum movies, I suggest Goliath meets the vampires or versus the vampires. Or, you go, no, we're not doing that one. This is the one you go for. And I'm telling you right now, Goliath versus the vampires is so much better than Beastmaster.
The ferrets were cute.
The ferrets were cute.
They used like 25 of them for this movie too, because ferrets can't be trained. They lured them with food.
They're swarming me.
No ferrets were harmed in the making of this film. Oh boy!
But I'm jesting, of course. It wasn't a Conan movie, and there's no way they could have ripped off Conan because it was the same year. You know what I mean? They didn't have time to write. Well, it is Don Coscarelli. He could have written it in like 24 hours of film. I don't know, but yeah, the similarities were striking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was almost like a Conan wannabe.
Yeah, but it's funny because Marc Singer was the lead, and he's not. You know, you get somebody like Arnold as Conan, and he's like, and Arnold's not a dumb guy. He's got a brain. He's a very smart fella, but you know, physically he's like an oak.
Yeah.
And Marc Singer, you know, he's more you know, athletic and you know, and I don't know. It just seemed
he was in great shape, but he wasn't. I mean, if you put him next to us in that film, Ross. I mean, obviously he was muscular, but he wasn't a body. He was in excellent condition, as Shari was saying. But if you put him and Arnold next to each other, Arnold is the bodybuilder, right?
Yeah, well, he's the bulk. He bulks up. Yeah.
Marc Singer was very fit and he worked out, but he didn't have the bulk that Arnold had.
And we shouldn't stereotype, but it just seems like, you know, when you have somebody that's more and plus you have that the charisma. Arnold has charisma too, but it's different. Sure. You know what I mean? It's just a totally different character. And don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to King Conan. I can't wait. They're going to be shooting that next year.
Arnold, so. And we'll have to revisit Conan again just to remind everybody.
Just to remind them, yes.
Don't forget.
Don't forget King Conan. Yeah.
I'll be back.
I'll be back as King Conan. Yeah. So
Hey,
anyway,
Don. Don's joining us from Delaware. Welcome, Don. And also, Jack is also joining us. Welcome, Jack.
he was
Yeah,
ripped,
he
not
was ripped,
pumped.
not pumped. Yep, exactly. I will pump you up. Hey, Marianne.
Hey, hello.
Glad you made it out there. And Catherine saying, how would Kirk Douglas compare to Arnold?
As what? As Ulysses? Which part? Oh, or Spartacus? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Don said both Conans are on 4K now. Wow. 4K. My
Conan
goodness.
in 4K.
Wow. Who would have thought? Yeah, but anyway, in regards to this film, no, I mean, it definitely it's kind of a fun adventure. I mean, it is. I really the beginning I was not a big fan of. I mean, obviously, and that all happened so quickly too, with everything with the king and everything, which is tragic. And
It cracked me up when they hung themselves
yeah,
with those little chains. I mean, that was really. Have you ever seen Phantasm?
no,
Okay, Don Coscarelli, his first big hit was Phantasm, and I'm sure a lot of people out there have seen. There were a whole series of these films. I'm not even going to try to explain what it is. It's got some kind of carnivorous Jawas that come from another dimension, and they're all overseen by this undertaker called the Tall Man. And anyway, Reggie and his buddy, what's his name, Mike? I can't remember. Anyway, they go and take on the Tall Man in this movie, but it makes no sense. And they're these, but the most memorable thing are these steel balls that fly around, and when they strike somebody in the forehead, there's a drill that comes out and drills into their heads. it's the movie has to be seen to be believed. It's hilarious, but you know, by no means is it a good movie. It's got power and it's memorable, but it's not a very good movie. And I kind of felt like that with this movie a little bit. And that thing with the chains just reminded me of the thing with the steel balls that would fly around because it's so ludicrous. And yeah, the stuff, you know, stuff that makes no sense, like the stuff with the bat creatures that would absorb, you know, the people and
they'd absorb the people, and then all that's left is like their bones for the
yeah,
remains.
the bones and viscera fall on the ground. Yeah, that kind of bizarre stuff, or the stuff with the witches, which I thought was so much better than The Sword and the Sorcerer the same year. Not the same director though. It had the other hack director, Albert Pune, directed that one. But I love that movie. I could watch that movie, you know, every week and be delighted by it. That's a guilty pleasure. But,
so Catherine was asking, she said, you know, she asked who the director was, and that was Don Coscarelli. Now, his other credits, you were saying,
Phantasm was and this one, you know, those were his two big movies. But he also did a movie called Bubba Hotep that had Bruce Campbell in it.
Sure, yeah, yep.
Where he plays Elvis.
Yep.
We don't know if he's really Elvis or not, but he's Elvis in an old age home. I don't even. That's probably not the correct term now, but I'm going to say old age home, retirement home. And Ozzie Davis is in it, and he's JFK. So you know Ozzie Davis is not JFK. So maybe you assume that, you know, maybe Bruce Campbell really isn't Elvis, but an impersonator, or he thinks he's Elvis. But the two of them go and take on a mummy in an old age home. So,
we were just talking about this movie not too long ago.
Yeah, it's worth seeing. It's actually half decent. You know, it's better than Phantasm and Beastmaster. But it's not to say I don't enjoy Phantasm. I love Phantasm. But and they made a movie called, I forgot all about this. He made a movie called John Dies at the End, which is a zombie movie with Paul Giamatti. And and your buddy's in it. Dan Roebuck is in it.
Oh, there you go.
I've never seen it, but it's gotten you know, some acclaim. So those are like his four fairly. I mean, he's done other Phantasm sequels. I think there are like 4 or 5 Phantasm movies.
And I think Mike and Mary Beth may have actually covered that film too, thinking about it now.
Bubba Hotep or Phantasm or Joe Dies at the End or whatever it is.
No, with him being Elvis with
Bubba Hotep, yeah. They I did see the second Phantasm. I saw that up at the Lehigh Valley Mall, I remember, but I stopped after that one.
So that was that a 70s movie, late 70s, or was it 80s?
The first one was 70s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought so.
definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
79, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a goofy movie, though. Don't
There you go.
which is why I loved it. Yeah.
So you got Marc Singer. Now, were you a watcher of the miniseries V, Ross?
It's not. We've talked about this. I'd be curious to see it. I understand that he was in it, but I didn't see it. No.
He played. I think his character's name was, well, the last name was Donovan. I think it was Mark Donovan was his character's. I think maybe or Mike or Mark. I'm not sure, but yeah. And he was in that, and he did a really good job with that. And it was and that was 1983. You're talking like that was 43 years ago already. And believe it or not, I actually videotaped that when it was originally on, and I still actually have those tapes, but I'm sure that they've degraded somewhat. Tanya Roberts, back in the day, this movie I think led her to be in the James Bond film. She was in Roger Moore's last film, A View to a Kill. And she was also in, was it Sheena?
Sheena, right.
1984, which I think Sheena was 2 years after this movie. And then the Bond film, View to a Kill, was in 85. She was also on Charlie's Angels. She was I believe she was in the last season of Charlie's Angels as well. Sadly, she passed away about 5 years ago. She had gotten an infection, and it spread. And Julie, that's right, Marianne, Julie Rogers. That would have been in actually, I think Charlie's Angels was on for 5 seasons, so that would have been 76 to 81. So she probably, when she was done filming Charlie's Angels, she probably was filming this movie then, if it all times out right. And then, of course, John Amos. I remember him, in Good Times.
Of course.
That was the big thing. He played John. What was his name on that show? Oh my goodness.
James Evans.
Yes, and he was married to Florida Esther Roll.
Right, yeah.
And
he Jimmy Walker. Yes, yeah,
Jimmy Walker. And then he also did a lot of movies.
Oh, he's in Roots too. Remember, he was Kunta Kinte when he grew up.
Right.
LeVar Burton grew into John Amos. Yeah. Now the big question is, she had a urinary tract infection. She had gone hiking, I guess, and didn't realize. Yeah.
Tragic, and she was very, very young.
Well, she was 71, but that's still young. Yeah. But it was a shock. I remember when I heard of her passing. The big question
was, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I remember she was in the hospital, and then there was reports that she had died, and then they said those reports weren't true, that she was still alive. And then what happened was they updated it, and then there were the reports that she died, and then sadly she had passed.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Russ. I'm sorry.
No, they broke the news too early, and then it was bizarre. But the big question is, of those 3 photos, it's like who's showing the most skin? That's what I want to know in this movie.
Well, the funny thing is, I was reading too, when Marc Singer and John Amos saw each other the way they were dressed, they both basically started laughing.
In profile, it's just absolutely ridiculous how the men are dressed.
Yeah.
We're used to them, the exploitation of the women and everything, but to see John Amos in that outfit is hilarious.
He thought so too.
Yeah. And at the end, they're all running around in those outfits.
Oh my God! It's like a Star Trek episode with Michael Forrest. He's playing Apollo. And in the blooper reels, he comes out for his scene, and he kind of lifts his his Greek toga, and he's just he's just kind of mocking it. He's having fun, and it's funny to see in the blooper reels. It's kind of like that. Catherine is asking, The Invaders, a Quinn Martin production, was interesting. Have either of you seen it? Yes, Catherine, I have, and this is something I would love to cover on the show at some point. That was on for 2 seasons, and it was on 1967 and 1969, if memory serves correct. Roy Thinnis starred in it. And I think the giveaway, wasn't it their pinky? I think their pinky was a giveaway if they were aliens. Did you ever watch that, Ross?
I never did. We talked about watching it, but I never got around to watching it. So
yeah.
But yes, I know it's well regarded or well remembered. Yeah.
Yeah. Don commented, I really love his film, Kenny and Company's great growing up film that takes place on Halloween.
Who is that? Is that Coscarelli or somebody else?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, Don, let us know.
Or is that one of the actors? Was John Amos in it? Or yeah.
Oh, maybe that could be. May commented, Clifton Jones was in Sheena. Unfortunately, his character gets killed in the first few minutes of the movie. Oh, did not know that, May. Thank you for sharing. Clifton being from Space 1999, Kano, David Kano for the fans. Hey, Dennis. Dennis is also joining us from Canada. Welcome. And Jack said they definitely didn't spend much on costumes.
Or anything for that matter.
And Don said yes.
Oh, Coscarelli. Okay, I've never seen that movie. Okay. I'll look it up. Yeah. What about the rating? This is a PG movie, and I told you, I always had the impression this is like a family film, but there was a respectable amount of toplessness and day glow, those glow stick gore effects.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a scary movie with a fair amount of skin for a PG film. And then you remember,
honestly,
go ahead.
This easily could have been a PG-13 film, like if it was bordering between PG-13 and R, in my opinion.
Yeah. But there was no PG-13 yet.
Right, because it wasn't until my favorite film, which came out in 1984, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, that caused that.
He's being sarcastic, folks.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. Between that and Gremlins, I guess it got a little rough. But I could see the ratings board sitting down and saying, well, we can't very well give this movie an R rating. It's so stupid, It's like it's obviously geared toward young people.
Yeah.
And dads.
And dads.
We got to give it a PG, But I was surprised, how far it went in some of the scenes. Yeah.
No, I was too.
Norless tapes, yes. I keep trying to get Roy to talk about that at Halloween time. It's on YouTube. We talk about it. Maybe we'll do it one of these years.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll work it in for this year. Especially, Catherine is asking about that. Yeah, we'll do it.
All right.
And then Ross
come on and talk about it.
This is like the 5th time Ross has brought it up to me, and I keep forgetting. So yeah. Sherry said, just wondering if dyeing the tiger black was good for the tiger. Don't think so. Tigers are beautiful. Didn't need to be black. Well, the whole thing with that is they wanted it to be
a panther.
But panthers are not trainable, supposedly, or very, in regards to the movies. But
why didn't it have to be a tiger? Why did it have to be a panther? Yeah.
I know, right? PG. Wow, I wouldn't want my kids seeing the beginning. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, that was. Marianne said, the Temple of Doom was funny as hell. Love it. Wooly with her screaming, lots of laughs.
Oh,
I not a fan.
Yeah,
sorry,
I still liked it, but there's no way that I would ever mistake it for the first movie. It was nowhere near that on that level.
What a letdown, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have something like Raiders. Now, I love the third movie. The third movie is
here comes the digression. Yeah. We should have like digression alert. Yeah.
Digression alert. This is about. I should have a slide for what the digression will be. Tonight on Roy's Tie-Dye Sci-Fi Corner, we talk about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That will be our digression topic.
What's your beef, Roy? Tell us about it.
I love that movie. I thought it was a great film.
Give into the dark side, Roy.
The summer of '89, Ross. Look into the light, Ross.
Yeah. I was talking about the second one there. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
But hello.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, there were good things about it. It just, I mean,
Hi, Mary. Mary's with Bill.
yeah, we don't have to talk. We don't have to talk about Temple of Doom, but there was no way it was, on the same level as Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm not as effusive about the third one either, but the third one was more fun.
Yeah,
and it had Connery in it, and it had Hart. So it was kind of a good way to wrap it up. They should have just ended it there.
Junior.
Yeah.
But Roy digresses.
Exactly. He's remembering his Charlemagne. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Don is saying, I literally had this indie conversation 2 hours ago. So you're having deja vu right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't. Somewhere in the world right now, somebody's having the same conversation. It just continues for 40 years. People have been
42 years later. We're still talking about it. I guess they did something right. Catherine is asking, what are your favorite 50s sci-fi and fantasy films, Roy and Ross?
Wow, we're getting interviewed tonight.
Yeah, this is cool.
What'd she say, 50s films or which ones?
Yeah, she said 50s sci-fi and fantasy.
In the 50s?
Yeah, Forbidden Planet is one.
Forbidden Planet would be up there, yeah.
Yeah, also the Day the Earth Stood Still, another favorite.
The Thing from Another World.
Yeah.
Day the Earth Stood Still. Those would be definitely up there. Fantasy films, the Harryhausen movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize a lot of those go into the 60s, like Seventh Voyage is in the 60s, I think. But I think Jason and the Argonauts was in the 50s still.
Yeah, wow, that's right. Yeah. Well, Jason and the Argonauts, wasn't that 63?
Was it that late?
I think it was. I think it was 63.
Oh, Seventh Voyage. When was Seventh Voyage? Was that 50s?
Seventh Voyage, I thought was.
Yeah, because that was like kind of the dry run for the skeleton fight.
Wasn't that in the 70s?
58. No,
58?
no, you're getting it mixed up with there's the Golden Voyage.
Yeah, I stand corrected on that.
Yeah. So
which one was in 63? Because that was the one with Nancy Kovacs.
What, there was a Sinbad movie in 63?
I thought there was. No, Jason and the Argonauts.
Jason and the Argonauts would have been 63.
Yeah, that's the one that she was in. Because
I mean, they're all they had Mysterious Island, and which was not a Jason and the Argonauts. It was not a Sinbad movie. It was Civil War.
The Andromeda Strain. Yeah, that was 1971. Ironically enough, I was just talking to Lou on the phone yesterday, and he was even saying that's because we were talking about, we did that movie a few years back. He was saying that was one of his favorite films. That was with Arthur Hill, right?
There was the guy who played the. We saw him in something else. I said he was the leprechaun on Broadway in Finnegan's, not Finnegan's Wake, the musical that Francis Ford Coppola directed with Fred Astaire.
Oh,
Finian's Rainbow.
Yes.
Yeah. And
gotcha.
What's his name was in it too? Man, I had it, now it's gone.
I know how that is. Oh, yeah.
To voice the Winter Warlock in the Keenan Wynn.
Catherine. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Kevin McCarthy and Dana Winter. Carolyn Jones was in that. That was 1956. That's
I saw a lot of those things on Saturday afternoons. Yeah, Finian's Rainbow. Saturday afternoons, we watch Dr. Shock on Saturdays and see a lot of those movies.
Dr. Shock Theater first.
Yeah, a lot of them were really, really cheesy B movies, but they were still effective. Like Invasion of the Saucer Men or Saucer People.
Them was another excellent film. We actually did that on the show a long time ago, but it was one of the lost episodes. The Marianne said the 50s had excellent sci-fi movies. No, definitely. I'm gonna get Ross going on this one, Marianne. This is gonna ignite Ross when I put this up here. The newest Indiana Jones was great.
Who said that?
Marianne.
Can you ban that person? No, we're open to differing viewpoints here.
We are definitely open to different,
and that's definitely a differing viewpoint. Yeah, it's not. I did not like that. In fact, that was one of the worst times I think I've ever had in a movie. But, but I finally tracked down the soundtrack. By the way, the limited edition soundtrack that you had to pre-order.
Did you get it?
I finally found it. I had to spend $50 to get it, but after like over a year, I finally got a hold of it. It's only worth it for the one track on there, the Helena's theme, but the rest of it is just whatever. The new one, A Time Machine's great. The new one, the Disclosure Day that's coming out, Spielberg thing with the score by John Williams. I hear it's not going to be released on compact disc. What the hell is that? There's so many collectors, film music collectors out there, and they're. I guarantee it's going to turn up on CD eventually, but it's annoying. First of all, it's going to be released as on streaming a week after the movie comes out. You remember when the Star Wars movies came out, when the Spielberg movies came out, the soundtrack was in the stores before the films opened.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and for somebody who does a film music show, hello, it's nice to have the soundtrack in hand so I can maybe tease the film and play it on the radio before the film opens. You were dating yourself at the drive-in? That's no fun. Yeah.
Marianne just said, "No, don't ban me." Lots of laughs. I thought it was great when Jones went back in time. No, we would never ban you, Marianne.
No.
Russ just has very strong feelings when it comes to that film. I actually do too. I was not a fan of it, but I mean, you know what? You're definitely entitled to like what you like. There's no.
Yeah.
We're not. I mean,
I could go further into why I don't like it, but I won't bother.
Zardoz loves the last movie. Where's Linda? Zardoz.
Yeah, Zardoz should have played Indy's father. That should have been the end of the movie, the revelation.
Catherine said, "By the way, I follow you on Facebook. Great CD finds, Ross."
Thank you, Catherine.
I used to date Jeff. I used to date myself, but I was always the one.
There you go. That's pretty good quip. Good quip. Very witty.
Prep on your feet.
See, that's the kind of guy we should have writing Indiana Jones films.
Here's some more photos.
All right, let's get on with this. Yeah, I didn't really look a lot into this kid here, but he's only a few years younger than us.
Yeah, 2 years. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Rip Torn, of course, we know.
He was in I was trying to think of a movie that he was in where he did not look like Rip Torn, and it was and we talked about it. It was Coma. He was one of the doctors.
Wow. Right, yeah. Right.
And I saw him during an interview, and he said that I guess he was talking about like playing evil characters and really, really bad. He said that the character from the Beastmaster was probably the most evil character he ever played in his career. He said.
Well, they gave him the nose makeup. We're used to seeing him, later on in his career. We used to see him with that black beard he had, and he was nominated for, I don't know, something like 6 Emmys for being on the Larry Sanders Show with Gary Shandling. Yeah. And of course, he was in the Men in Black films. He played Zed.
Right. And it's King Zed in this movie, too, which is kind of an irony.
Yeah. Right. And he played, he did the voice of Zeus in Disney's Hercules.
Okay.
And played Judas, apparently, in King of Kings. I didn't realize that.
Really? I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, back with the one with Jeffrey Hunter.
Sure. 1961.
But he's notorious for his bad behavior. I didn't get a chance to go back and rewatch it. I didn't think of it until right before we went on. But there's a very funny conversation. There's a web series called Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. Do you know about this? It's a Jerry Seinfeld series. Each one is about 10, 15 minutes long, but he goes out with a different comedian and they go and get coffee and they just shoot the breeze. And he goes out with Alec Baldwin. And Alec Baldwin talks about his experiences with Rip Torn, because Rip Torn was on 30 Rock for a little bit.
Okay.
He talks about how Rip Torn would go out on the weekend and he'd just, get roughed up and just all the hell he raised on the weekends. And he'd show up for work on Monday all torn up.
Yeah, business as usual.
Yeah. And Jerry says, "Oh, when was this? Oh, just 2 years ago or something." And Rip was, well into his 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, he's passed. So many of these folks.
He did. Well, there's a film he made with Norman Mailer where he hits him in the head with a hammer for real.
Oh, geez.
And they have it on film.
Oh God.
and he got it. And he had a big feud with Dennis Hopper because he was supposed to be an easy rider. I don't know if you remember this or not, but I guess Dennis Hopper told Jay Leno that Rip Torn pulled a knife on him. So he got kicked off the film and they hired Jack Nicholson. Or maybe they hired Jack Nicholson and then Rip Torn pulled the knife. I don't remember. But the thing is Rip Torn said, no, that's not how it happened. Dennis Hopper pulled the knife on me. So they wound up in court because Rip Torn took him to sued him for defamation. And the court or the jury found in his favor. So Dennis Hopper had to pay damages to Rip Torn, and I wrote down the amount. It was $475,000.
Oh my goodness!
Dennis Hopper had to pay Rip Torn. So Dennis Hopper appeals, and they go and they fine for Rip Torn again, and the amount got doubled. So he had to pay another $475,000.
And this didn't just take place yesterday. This is many years ago. So how much you're talking almost $1 million. Like what, 20 years ago, maybe 25 years ago?
Well, when the whole thing went down with the two of them there on the lawsuits, probably 20, 25 years ago. But Easy Rider was back, what is it, 69 or
60,
something?
Yeah.
So, around the turn of the 70s,
Right.
I can't quite remember the exact date. And the other thing was late in life, he lived in Connecticut, and one night he got arrested for breaking into his neighborhood bank because he was intoxicated and packing heat, and he thought it was his home. That's Rip Torn for you. But so he had his demons, and he was problematic, but he was a very colorful actor, and he was always a welcome presence in the movies and on TV.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, I guess it could be in any industry, but especially in the entertainment industry. Maybe it's because there's such high profile character, personas. Yeah. But you hear so many stories like this, and it's just wow.
And I don't know why, but there's just a certain admiration that some of us feel for people behaving badly, even though if we knew that person, we'd be very angry with them. but here it's like Oliver Reed, that kind of thing. Right. It's like if you knew Oliver Reed, you want to kill him. But hearing about all this hell raising and stuff, sometimes it's not funny, but then other times it's hilarious.
Well, and for our viewers out there, it's priceless. And Ross had tipped me off about it. If you go on YouTube and you look up Oliver Reed on David Letterman, and there's an instance where David really gets to Oliver Reed, and what he does is Oliver Reed takes off his glasses and he looks like he's ready to punch out David Letterman, and David Letterman's like, oh no. Yeah, hey, Paul's out there. Hey, Paul. He said Indy definitely should have worn Connery's song. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the show, Paul.
No, we don't recommend it. Well, I don't recommend it, Catherine. But,
I'll have to find a print of the Beastmaster on the internet. Really, yeah. And
it is available on Facebook. Is it Facebook? YouTube.
Yeah, it was on YouTube. Comedians in Cars is fantastic. Bill said.
Yeah.
Catherine asked, how many movies do you have in your collection, Ross? This stack behind you looks pretty impressive.
These are CDs. Yeah, this is music back here. And I don't know how many movies I have. Not as much as the music, but
no, your CD collection.
What kind of gossip I stumbled into.
We're trying to find that out, Paul. Jeff said, wow, no wonder he ended up in Men in Black. Yeah, right. Yeah. His name fits like a glove.
yeah. And his birth name was not, Rip Torn. I mean, how can you get better than that? But it was not his birth name. There was a tradition in the family that the men would be called Rip. There'd be some male in the family that would be called Rip. That was a nickname. But he was not the first Rip Torn in the family.
Oh, and I see Catherine saying, I love Frank Sinatra, but really, would you really want to hang out with him knowing what has been reported?
Right, exactly.
Very true. Hey, I just want to say hi to my mom. My mom is out there.
Hi.
So thanks for joining, Mom.
Hopefully she didn't hear the stuff earlier.
No, it's all good.
No, I didn't use any inappropriate language. Certainly,
we're good.
We're just describing the movie.
Yeah, no, I'm glad she's out there though.
Yeah. And happy belated birthday. Yeah.
Yes, thanks. In case you didn't catch that, Mom, Ross said happy belated birthday. And my dad's birthday was last week as well too, on the 16th. So
I missed it.
Birthday to my dad.
Wow. Happy birthday. Born so close together.
Yeah, 5 days apart.
Wow. Same year?
Not the same year though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like you and me, Roy.
We're the same year.
Born only days apart.
Days apart.
Days apart. Days of heaven.
Yeah. 16 days. And man, we are on the countdown, Ross.
16 Days of Glory. Yeah. Which is a film, by the way, that Lee Holdridge scored.
Is it really? Oh, that's a perfect.
We'll get back to Lee Holdridge a little later. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he's the composer on this movie, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
It's all good. And then Rod Loomis, who played King Zed, for the Star Trek fans out there, all roads leading to Star Trek, and he was actually in the episode, as I try to bring it up, We Will Always Have Paris. He was Dr. Paul Mannheim. And that's Michelle Phillips in the background, who was one of the 4 of the Mamas and the Papas. She played Picard's old love in that episode.
Always Have Paris. From Casablanca.
Yes. So there we go. Oh, thanks for that. Catherine said CDs are primarily music, classical soundtracks. What's your absolute favorite soundtrack, Ross?
She's so inquisitive tonight. What's going on? So what's she saying about it's music? It's classical, except down at the end I've got some film scores down there toward the end. Not all of them, because I got some on the wall over there. I've got some. It goes all the way.
It's endless. It's like a lot.
I got some stuff and on my desk here. Oh, by the way, I want to share this. So Marc Singer is a very talented guy. He never really got the breaks, I think, that he deserved. I mean, fortunately, he had Beastmaster and he had V. Yep. And I guess he did a bit on Dallas and some other shows, and had some other movies. But he was in the American Conservatory Theater out in California. And I caught this. I recognize him immediately because of Beastmaster, even though I never saw it. Right. In the 70s, he was in a production of The Taming of the Shrew, where he plays Petruchia. And I don't care if you think you don't like Shakespeare, but this is just mind-bogglingly entertaining. It's fast, it's funny, it's bawdy, and it's very physical. And it's done in the style of commedia dell'arte. Now, if that doesn't if that doesn't mean anything to anybody, it's just an old style of Italian comedy where all of the figures were certain types. Like you had the doddering old man and the hero who's crafty and can figure out how to get around obstacles and all that sort of thing. But they do it all in the kind of that old commedia dell'arte costume. But it's on YouTube, I think. I mean, I saw it on there a while ago. But check it out. It's The Taming of the Shrew, and it's got Marc Singer.
What was the year of that, Ross?
I think 78, 76.
Okay.
1976. So it's pre-Beastmaster. But boy, he's still in good shape. I'll tell you that. He doesn't stop the whole production. He's just in constant motion. But I highly recommend it. I know you'll enjoy it. Like give it 5 minutes, and you'll be hooked.
No, thanks for sharing that, Ross.
And whoever plays, I don't know who who's Catherine here. Freddie Ulster. I'm not familiar with her, but she's excellent also. They're both they're perfect for each other.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good. Hey, yeah. Chris is joining us from Kentucky. Welcome, Chris. He's no worry. And I hope Wonderfest was good, Chris. I know that was going on this weekend, so I hope you got to go to that. In fact, I gotta follow up about that, and I'm gonna be talking about that on the show. Kind of like the a recap of Wonderfest. Chris also said, I love Shakespeare. I saw Marc Singer's performance in it. He did a cool job.
Right.
Catherine said, oh my God, that's some awesome collection, Ross. Or excuse me, Marianne said that, not Catherine. Marianne said that. And Catherine said, Ross, I want to know more about you. You intrigue me.
I'm an international man of mystery. I'm the world's most interesting man. Stay thirsty.
Yeah. Paul commented, he said, Frank Sinatra saved my uncle's life once in Atlantic City. 3 guys were beating the blank out of my uncle in an alley, and Frank came out and said, okay, boys, that's enough. Well,
is that a joke or not? Because it can be taken to well, you get it.
I get it.
There's a double meaning in that.
Double meaning. And let me see. I want to make sure I'm caught up with everybody. I think I am. Yeah. No, he actually, it's interesting too. He was a contract player, I believe, with Universal, if not mistaken. He was actually in a Columbo episode where he's on a TV show that is being watched by one of the characters. So it's a TV show within the show, and he's playing a doctor. And I think he went uncredited too. But and then actually, for the Space 1999 fans out there, it's the episode Double Shock with Martin Landau, and that's the Columbo episode, and it was in 1973. But yeah, he's got a long list of things that he's done, and from what I saw, he's still doing stuff as of 2024. So
yeah. And the thing about a lot of these actors is, even John Amos, a recognizable face, they might fall out of your consciousness. You might not see everything they do, but they're working actors, and they're if you look at their IMDb credits or whatever, you see that the whole time that they had work, even if they weren't, people didn't think of them as household names. They weren't. Paul Newman or somebody like that, or Kirk Douglas, or they were still working, and that's something. There's something to be said for that. But they always found stuff to do in film and television.
Yeah,
even if it wasn't always the Oscar nominated movies. So,
no,
Beastmaster got snubbed.
Oh man. Chris said, Wonderfest was fun. I really enjoyed meeting Barbara Luna. Oh, Luna, that's right. Luna was there, and catching up with some old friends. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, she's wonderful. She is very, very nice. Hey, Randy. Glad to see you're online now. Cool. Very cool.
Good night, Randy.
Chris said, I enjoyed Mark's performance in an episode of Planet of the Apes. Yeah, that's right. He was in that. First saw him in the Beastmaster and 5 and V, the final battle in V, the series.
That's right. Forgot about Planet of the Apes. That was supposed to be one of his... the first things that really got him noticed too.
Yeah.
This is part of that.
V, the final battle. That's right. That was the follow-up miniseries, and then they did actually a series, which they should never have done. So, but yeah.
Well, did you know it was good?
Then I think they tried bringing it back too recently, within like the last.
Yeah, they always do that kind of. I don't know, but they always do that. You think something's put to bed, and then they have to reboot it, or like Battlestar Galactica. But did you know there was a TV series, Beastmaster? I didn't know this.
I never saw it.
I went on Tubi expecting to watch Beastmaster free with commercials because the Beastmaster's on there, and it turns out it's a TV series, which I'm not sure if it's closely related to the movie or not, or more aligned with the source material, which was based on that book by Andre Norton.
50s, right?
whose birth name was Alice Norton, but she took the name Andre. So, because back in the day,
right,
a woman wasn't taken seriously. Wouldn't get published writing fantasy and science fiction.
yeah.
So she went by Andre Norton. But anyway, she wrote a book called The Beastmaster, and she disowned this picture. She said, I don't want anything to do with it. Keep my name off the film. And I'm trying to figure out how Don Coscarelli could make a movie called The Beastmaster if it has, if he said it was inspired by her book. Wouldn't there be like legal recourse to say, I don't want you to make this movie if she didn't support it? I'm not sure how that would be.
I didn't come across anything on the internet about that, but I didn't dig deep into that. So
yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. But anyway, the movie's different enough from the book that maybe they could just get away with it, because in the book the guy's Navajo and it's set on another planet, and the animals are genetically mutated or something. So it's different than what happens in the movie. But how do we get on that?
Digression. How do we get on any topic? Here's another one for you, Ross. Paul's saying, I second that. What would you rank as your top soundtrack, Ross? I know it's an impossible question, but impulse, pick one.
Oh man, it is an impossible question. Come on now, stop picking on me. I could do maybe 5, but yeah, what would the top soundtrack be? I mean, I just watched The Adventures of Robin Hood the other night, Eric Wolfgang Korngold, and I love that score. I mean, Star Wars, of course. Ben-Hur by Miklos Rozsa, one of my favorite scores. The Big Country by Jerome Moross, one of my favorite westerns. I mean, there's a lot of scores I like, but what's the best score of all time? I don't know.
That's a loaded question, right?
Yeah, it's like, do you want my answer or the academic answer? Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, Catherine said, Paul, stop stealing Shecky Green's material. For you who don't know, Shecky was a comedian who worked Vegas and Miami, a very funny fellow and always at odds with Frank. He was in Tony Rome, a Sinatra detective film in 1967.
I remember Shecky Green. You probably do too. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. In fact, I just came across something with him that he's
that's why Paul and I are friends. Yeah.
Shecky Green, he didn't die that long ago either. He was up there. I think he was like in his 90s. But that's going back a ways. I'm trying to think, where did I see him? Oh, it's gonna bother me. Anyway, I digress. Bill said Wrath of Khan soundtrack up there.
Up there as far as in my assessment, or up there on the wall? Yeah, it's up there on the wall. If that's what you're asking. It's a good soundtrack. It's a good soundtrack. We were spoiled for choice in the 80s, I have to say. Just thinking about all the even the bad movies, so many of them had good scores when we were growing up. And after Star Wars, they just really had that flowering of orchestral, film music through the end of the century. And then things, I think, started to shift too much in the direction they are now. It's the sound design. No good music anymore in the movies.
And I hate to jump ahead to music, but the soundtrack of this film, I kept hearing Battlestar Galactica in there, and I don't know why. Did you pick up on that? That's
interesting. Oh, that's it. Yeah, I see where you hear it. Yeah.
It just kept. I don't know, and I'm thinking, okay, it's in that time frame. I mean,
I can see why you would think that. Yeah, I don't think he was imitating it on purpose.
No,
but I do hear a similarity with the one part of it. Yeah. It's gonna.
Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of.
It's it follows kind of a similar arc, but I didn't pick up on it when I was watching it by any means, but I could see why you would think that.
Yeah, it was just, and it happened more than once. It's just at different points.
Right. It's one of the parts of the theme that they would play. Yeah.
As he was wielding his sword.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love that stuff, but it's so pointless.
Here's some moments from the film. Those ferrets were so freaking cute. I got
they're the ones that threw me off. Where I said, "Oh, yeah, we'll watch this kiddie film." Oh my god, what's going on?
I loved it when he was saying, don't move. He's trying to be the tough guy with the.
It's a black tiger, and you could see it kept coming off from around the muzzle.
Yeah,
you can see the tiger's mouth. There. The bat people, and then that thing on the right, where they drive the guy mad with the. That was the same year as Wrath of Khan, wasn't it? 82.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, they put the thing in this guy's
eels.
Yeah, they put the thing in this guy's ear to drive him mad. They turn into these crazy berserkers with the razor nails. Yeah, that was kind of amusing. Kind of.
And the eyes have it. The eye ring.
Yeah.
And they're your
that's right, the porn witches,
Ross.
Yeah. The porn witches with the Art Stoltz faces. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh god. There's the tiger.
Right. Yeah, you can see. That's no panther.
That's no panther. It's a
and it's really bad because that's a publicity shot.
Yeah.
You think they could have blackened up the I don't know.
They spared no expense, Ross. Literally.
I think they saved all the whole budget they saved for when they blew up the whole set in that one scene. They didn't even have when they had the riders coming in to the cult members to destroy the village. They didn't have actual dust getting kicked up. They had to animate that to kind of make that special effect. And yet at the end of the movie, they blow up the whole moat. I think the whole budget went up when they
the whole budget went up with smoke.
I was surprised, frankly, how big an explosion that was.
This is something that Shari and I were talking about, and she's posting this out. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Before Bill's saying, I'm sorry, I digress. What movie were we talking about? The Beastmaster.
The Beastmaster.
Shari's saying, wasn't she his cousin? Lots of laughs. No, and there's actually, and I was, we were going back and forth with this. So Dar is the long lost son of Zed, the king. And after they rescue King Zed, now old and blind, Kiri calls him uncle. If Zed is his uncle and Dar is his long lost son, doesn't that mean Kiri is Dar's cousin? Right? That's what we were saying. And I jokingly said, well, it's a second cousin. So, they're trying to and Shari was saying, back then they didn't care.
Yeah. Royals are. They're always marrying their cousins. So it's probably like the fifth generation of cousins getting married.
But Zed mentions that his queen, Dar's birth mother, died at the hands of the witch who stole the baby.
Right.
So Tal undoubtedly had another mother. So that's the whole thing. That's the workaround there. So it's a different mom. It's not the same. So which would have affected the lineage. And she was probably a cousin through marriage, not through whatchamacallit.
Yeah, well, you can think what you want, Roy. I know they were kissing cousins.
Kissing cousins. There you go. Catherine said, for the record, how old is Roy and Ross? I guess Roy is 40. Ross is a little north of that. Am I on track?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
exactly. And so are you, Catherine.
Exactly. Jeff said, no, they spared every expense. Looks like something Glenn Larson would have done.
Yeah, with less taste. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Paul said so many shoes were unshined because of their oh god. I said I thought the movie was over when they killed the bad guy on the top of the pyramid.
Absolutely.
And then went on and on and on.
Oh my god, it was the longest movie. Yeah.
And I Shari said the same thing, and I said it's only 2 hours. I said it's just it's not that.
Yeah,
Catherine said, "You guys are fun. I have to go to bed now. Can you guys? Can you guess how old I am?" I'm never going with that, Catherine.
39.
Yeah, I'll say 38.
38.
But thanks for joining us, and we appreciate you being out there and supporting.
Yeah. It's nice that you stopped in.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And just for the record, Ross and I will be back this Friday, June 5th. And as always, we don't know what we're doing. So
no, we keep. This is the problem. So on Thursday, we'll figure out we have to do something else that was on HBO incessantly back in 1980.
Well, it's funny because I messaged Mary Beth on Wednesday and talking about some Star Trek stuff, and then I even said that I didn't know what we were going to be doing, and she said, "Oh, you guys are following Mike, Rizzo and her, because they always post late about what they're doing." And yeah, we will definitely have something by tomorrow night. I promise we will definitely have something and we will iron something out as far as what we're doing on June 5th, because to be honest, it makes it easier for both Ross and I to know what we're going, because what happens is we have to watch we do rewatch the films or the shows, so we are on point, and B, I have to put the slides together, so that's time consuming, and I'm doing it on a Thursday night, 11th hour, and I'm like, ugh. So we will get this nailed down. Let me see here. Jack said, "I imagine the animal makeup guy had his assistant do muzzle touch-ups on the Panther." Yeah, right. And Catherine said 2 hours is too long.
2 hours. Yeah. I looked at my do the Invaders. The trouble is I have to watch the Invaders. That's the thing. If we do,
what we could do? We could do the pilot episode. We don't have to.
I hate doing pilots because the shows always change. The pilot's always different from the shows.
Yeah, but I mean,
I like to have insight. I like to be able to say, "No, this is different from the show," because.
But then we have to watch all 48 episodes.
I know. I get too meticulous.
It's too much, and unless we've watched it already,
I want to know what I'm criticizing. Yeah,
I don't know. There you
go. Yeah,
Catherine's looking forward to June 5th. Thanks, Catherine.
Oh, thank you.
And Randy said, "I've been following this show since 1999." Thanks, Randy. We appreciate that. And Paul said, "Hanzo the Razor trilogy."
That's an in joke.
I figured it was. It had to be. Marianne said, "I love when things get out of hand from the original shows into other shows. Lots of fun." Oh, thanks, Marianne. We appreciate the digression. We appreciate that you appreciate the digression of the show. I hear that more often than not, that folks love it when we digress. We're not just a show that talks about what we're supposed to be talking about. We talk about everything and nothing. Oh, boy. I see Anthony is joining us. Anthony, welcome. Hope you're enjoying our banter and appreciate you being out there. So thank you. Go ahead, Ross. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, was I saying something? I'm sorry. Do I have to talk about something? All right. Now the movie was not a big hit when it came out. However, because of the incessant exposure on HBO, hey, Beastmaster's on, and TBS, the Beastmaster station, they did make 2 sequels to this. I remember, back when people still got newspapers, opening up the newspaper on a Friday, and I said, "Oh my God, there's a sequel to Beastmaster?" Because it seemed like it was forever ago at that point, because this was out in 82. The sequel was out in 91. The Beastmaster 2 had the subtitle of "Through the Portal of Time."
I saw that.
Yeah. Did you see the movie, though?
I saw.
Because I did not.
Here's the thing.
All right, Roy. Give us the story.
I think I did, but I don't remember where I saw it. I don't remember when I saw it. I don't remember who I saw it with. I don't remember anything about it, but it sounds familiar. So I think I did see it, but I'm not 100% sure, because
the man who forgets nothing has no recollection of having seen this movie.
Yeah, I think I probably blocked it out for whatever reason, but I think that's how good it was. Yeah, Chris is saying about Sarah Douglas. I looked it up and I saw that Sarah Douglas was in that film, and of course I think of Superman. I think of Space 1999. I think of I think she was in the Saint, the Return of the Saint. She's obviously done a lot of stuff.
Well, she was in, if we're going to stay in the peplum genre, she was in Conan the Destroyer. She was the villainess
right
in Conan the Destroyer. So I don't know if she plays a similar kind of part. I don't know what she plays in the movie, but I can only assume that she does something sword and sorcery.
Yeah, exactly. Sherry said maybe that's what you can do on Friday.
Yeah.
The sequel, lots of laughs.
Thank you, Sherry. Because now Sherry's a big fan because she saw the first one. It just wasn't enough to get that 2 hours of Beastmaster. I have to tell you, that's what I was trying to say. What did he say?
Randy commented. He said, "I assume I missed all the Tanya Roberts love." We didn't even get to it. We didn't even get to half of it.
It's still blooming, Randy.
Yeah, it's like a blooming onion. Do you ever eat at the Outback Steakhouse? It's like a blooming onion.
Yeah, I have to say, I got out my cell phone an hour into it just to check the time, and when I saw it was only an hour into it, I thought I was winded. I said, "What are they going to do for the next hour?" I said, "Surely this thing's going to get wrapped up," and it did get wrapped up in the next half hour. But then they decided to go beyond. They had the whole Seven Samurai ending with the Marauders coming in and trying to take the castle or whatever it was, wherever they were.
That was an endless scene.
Yeah.
But when it came to the budget, they had to do what they had to do. Jeff said I was going to digress, but wait, what? Catherine said it's a show about nothing.
Yeah.
Bill said I often get the Sci-Fi Distilled announcement on Facebook for Wednesday's show the following Thursday.
Yeah.
Chris said I was surprised that Sarah Douglas was in the 1991 sequel. Catherine also said forget it as best as you can.
Yeah, we'll have our memories scrubbed.
Marianne said
Conan the Destroyer. Exactly.
And then also Catherine said remember Barbara Bain.
Right.
Barbara Bain? What about Barbara Bain?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she doesn't know you very well. Yeah.
Chris said she was also in Babylon 5 episode Deathwalker and then 86 the MGM sci-fi film Solar Baby. So there you go. Paul said Beastmaster 2 is one I will not be buying on Blu-ray, and that's a very low bar. Don said the current cut of Beastmaster was lost for many years until recently. Yeah, I read they did find it. I didn't realize that.
No, I didn't realize it either. Yeah.
I thought it was still lost. Now back to Tanya.
But there was a second sequel then. We had the first sequel in 91. The second sequel was in 96. Now this is 14 years later after the original.
That one I definitely did not see. Ross.
It was made for television. And not only did it have David Warner in it, who of course had to play the villain, but it had Leslie Ann Down was also in it.
Oh, okay.
So, obviously they couldn't have gotten away with any of the stuff they did with the first movie on television. Oh, and Don Coscarelli had nothing to do with the sequels. He sold the rights after the first movie.
I read that. Yeah. So you got nothing.
There probably was nothing to have, but I hope he saw some of the profits of some of the residuals of the first movie, because even though it didn't do well in theaters, it got shown forever on television. I mean, it was like all through the 80s that was on.
Yeah, they really got their money's worth out of that, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and as far as the peplum, as far as the bodybuilder, barbarian genre or whatever, Conan the Destroyer is not my favorite movie, but it was probably better than the Beastmaster. I liked Red Sonja with Sandal Bergman and Bridget Nielsen better than Beastmaster. It had Arnold in it too, of course. but that was it's kind of a similar movie. Oh, they're all similar. They're all like, start out with the murder, rape, pillage, and then the revenge, and the training, and then the revenge. And they have the ragtag group go in there and take out the villain, that kind of thing.
Right.
Oh, he's in the third Beastmaster film. There you go.
Tony Todd was that was such a shame when he passed. He was a really good actor. And he did a lot of Star Trek stuff too, but he did a lot of the genre films. Is William Shatner going to be in any of the Star Trek films? I'm not sure what you mean in regards to.
Is there another one coming out or something? Or
not that I'm aware of.
And you would know.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Oh, of course, Conan the Barbarian was way better than the Destroyer. Of course.
Mm.
Of course. I was just trying to go. I'm just trying to stoop down to the Beastmaster level and try to find something a little. I don't want to set the bar too high. I don't want to murder Beastmaster. I got to say something on the same level.
No. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, it did drag. It was a long 2 hours. I wanted a little bit. This movie needed more of something, and I'm not sure what it was, but it was trying for the sword and sorcery, but it was kind of lacking.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it was the same year as
yes, Bill. Yes, she did. I've heard. I've not seen that, but I've heard good things about that. Yeah.
It was the same year as Sword and the Sorcerer, which with Lee Horsley, which we talked about, which I thought was a lot more fun personally, even though it's not a great movie.
Right.
At least it kept it fun. It was light, and I mean, he does get crucified, and there's an awful lot of blood.
Yeah.
But it was fun. What's more fun than a good crucifixion?
On Sunday too.
He comes back from it, just like everybody does, apparently. But anyway,
digresses. Catherine said there has to be some new sci-fi plots. Know of any fresh and new?
Yeah.
You know what? There's a lot of good. There is stuff out there. There's also the new for all mankind. I've heard so many good, wonderful things about that, and I've only caught a couple of that. Now that's on Apple TV, and I was just again talking about this with Lou. There is a spin-off series or a series that's evolving from that, and I think it's out, or it's going to be out this year. So definitely check it out. And again, it's on Apple Television. That's something I would definitely recommend, Catherine. But I am not one to ask about new and current stuff because I'm more into the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. Catherine said, good night. 8:30 is here. God bless you both, Roy and Ross. Thanks, Catherine.
Thank you.
Good night.
Sleep well.
Sleep well. Much appreciated.
I still have about an hour on me.
Ross on religion.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have a spin-off podcast, Randy, so I hope you join me over there. I got a lot to say on the topic, obviously.
Paul, there was a good...
All the good crucifixion jokes were wasted in our texts.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, yeah, people tune in for the Beastmaster, but they stay for the crucifixion jokes. So what the hell are we talking about? We were saying
you're talking about the third Beastmaster film.
Third Beastmaster. We're talking about it being a long movie. Yeah, it was entertaining, but it was not at all what I expected. I don't know if I would have kinder feelings, if I would feel better about it watching it again. But there were just so many weird phantasm moments in this sword and sorcery movie. So we should do Phantasm at some point, though. In October at some point around Halloween, we could do
we can definitely.
Doesn't have to be this year, but we shouldn't waste it.
This movie could have actually been an October type movie, especially with with the sorcery and stuff, the witches.
It's a waste of a Halloween movie.
Yeah, this is true. There's only so many weeks we can do Halloween, and we usually are like slamming.
Yeah, it's only 5 months, Roy.
I know. 5 months away. Oh my god. Well, there's only 12 months in a year.
I know, isn't it funny how you get to a certain age and it just flies? Yeah. It's like, I'll save that for next year, and suddenly it's next year.
Next year's come and gone already. It's crazy. But so Paul said it took me a long while to warm up to this movie.
Yeah, and Paul loves this stuff, so that's saying something.
Yeah.
But, yeah, as I said, it was totally not what I expected watching it.
In regards to Starlog magazine, Starlog was the magazine back in the day. I always like to give a shout out to. Look what was on the cover, Ross. E.T. So this is Starlog issue 63. There was some articles about this movie, The Beastmaster, present in there. So just to let everybody know.
There was some stiff competition in '82 for fantasy and science fiction.
Absolutely.
Movies. So Beastmaster, when you're up against E.T. and you're up against Star Trek II and The Thing, and
they all came out that year.
Conan the Barbarian. I mean, you're all the way down at the bottom of the page,
But hey, you know what? We're still talking about it 44 years later.
People, that's why I suggested it on Thursday, because I knew everybody had seen it except me.
Right.
So, but I hadn't seen Predator. This is turning into make Ross watch. What science fiction movie haven't I seen? What fantasy movie haven't I seen?
Jack said they should have cast Jimmy Walker instead of John Amos. It would have made it The Last Hour Dynamite.
I think they blew all the dynamite in the moat. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. Totally agree.
Yeah, it was a golden age.
So, well, as we kind of wind down, music, Ross. I mean, we've touched upon it, but I don't believe I've heard his name, Lee Holdridge, before. I don't think you've talked about
Lee Holdridge has done a lot of music for movies, but also television. He's one of these guys that was nominated for a gazillion Emmys, 18 Emmy nominations.
Wow!
And won a bunch of them. He won 8 Grammys in different categories, 7 Grammys in different categories. But I knew him he did the music for Splash. You remember Splash?
Sure, of course.
Yeah, Splash and Mr. Mom with Michael Keaton. And another one you may have seen was Transylvania 6500. 65,000.
I didn't see that, but
yeah, 65,000. It would be the play on Pennsylvania. And Old Gringo, that starred Gregory Peck. He did the music for that.
Wow.
But for TV, he did music for Moonlighting, and he did Beauty and the Beast with Linda Hamilton and
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. Yeah, he did that series, the theme and the music on that.
Sure. Roy Dotrice was also on that. Yeah.
And then there was a point where, I think it was in the 90s, they kept doing these mini series of fantasy films, and he did The Mists of Avalon, the music for that, the female perspective of the Arthurian legends. The King Arthur story is told from the women's point of view. It's based on the popular novel that's been around forever. And now, of course, I can't remember her name. Everybody out there will know what it is, though. But that's who he is. He was actually born in Haiti. His mother was from Puerto Rico, and his father was American. And the father, what did he do? He's a botanist and a climatologist. So he started out, kind of in Central America. He was in Costa Rica for a bit, and that's where he started studying violin with the conductor of the National Symphony Orchestra of Costa Rica. And then the family moved back to the United States. So he was in Boston, and that's where he studied composition. And then he went to New York and studied with Nicholas Flagello, who was actually a known American composer of Italian descent. And also he had a lot of meetings with Stephen Sondheim. I don't know if he formally studied with him, but it was one of these things where he got advice from him. And it was really Neil Diamond, I think, that got his foot through the door, because he was doing arrangements for some popular singers, and he was Neil Diamond's arranger and conductor for a while. So Neil Diamond got the assignment for the film Jonathan Livingston Seagull in the early 70s, and it was Lee Holdridge who wrote the music. Neil Diamond sang the songs, and that was really his foot in the door for the film scores. So that's who Lee Holdridge is. He's still around. I don't know if he's still active. He's 82. He may yet be writing. I kind of lost track of him, but I do have this.
Oh, very cool.
Which I played on my film music show. It's got some music from the Beastmaster on there. Oh, it's got the movies on here. It's got Splash, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Oh yeah, another one that he did was a miniseries of East of Eden, the John Steinbeck book that had Jane Seymour in it. He wrote the music for that. And then I have The Mists of Avalon, which he actually signed here. And I have his Violin Concerto number 2, which sounds a hell of a lot like Eric Wolfgang Korngold. The first movement is fantastic. The soloist is Glenn Dictorow, who's the concertmaster of the New York Philharmonic at the time. So I played this on my show.
Ross, did you actually meet him or no?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never seen him face to face. I happened to pick this up. He was signing somewhere in California, and it was in the early days of the internet, and you could put in your name or whatever, and they'd send it to you. So I got Bruce Broughton's signature that way too. I got him to sign Silverado for me, but I never met him. So
no, that's still cool though.
Yeah. Well, ooh.
It's a collectible.
It's a collectible, and I like having it. The one other thing I wanted to say, it has nothing to do with Lee Holdridge, but has a lot to do with music. Marc Singer actually came from a very musical family. Who would figure with a name like Singer, right? Except nobody in the family was a singer. But his father was Jacques Singer, who was actually Polish born. I think his birth name was Jakub, but he became known as Jacques Singer. And he was a violinist who studied here in the United States with some very big violinists who may or may not be known to people, but Leopold Auer and Carl Flesch, which in classical music circles, you go, oh, wow. But everybody knows Leopold Stokowski, though. Leopold, So he studied with Leopold Stokowski at the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia.
Oh, we've talked about that. Curtis.
What's that?
We've talked about that school. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We had him on the show, him and his wife.
Of course. Yeah. Hugh Sung.
Yes.
Hugh Sung. Yeah. He taught there. Yeah. And went there, studied also. But he was kind of a protege of Stokowski, and he became a violinist in the Philadelphia Orchestra. Anyway, things went on from there, and he himself became a conductor and wound up directing the Dallas Symphony Orchestra, which is where Gerald Fried played the oboe. Remember?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
But it was after his time. But he was the music director there in Dallas before Gerald Fried, excuse me, was in the orchestra. I won't go on at length, but I will say that he kind of revolutionized the Oregon Symphony Orchestra, which used to be the Portland Symphony. He really built it into a first-rate orchestra. And that was really kind of, I guess, his claim to fame. For 10 years, he was music director there and really turned it around. So he's not really a real well-known guy. I don't have any recordings with him. I was able to find a Mahler symphony, a live performance of a Mahler symphony on YouTube that he conducted, but he did a lot. If you look up his Wikipedia page, again, Jacques Singer, you'll see it just goes on and on and on. Marc Singer probably wrote it up. He put it all up there. Oh, so his mom was a concert pianist from Texas, and her name is Leslie Wright, and his sister is Lori Singer, who was a cellist, a prodigy, but she's gone on to acting. She too has gone into acting. So anyway, the whole family was in the arts. So that's my big digression for the end of the show. But,
no, that's really impressive, and thank you for sharing that. But yeah,
I was just surprised that his dad turned out to be such a. He knew a lot of like well-known classical music people, you know.
Right in that circle,
and had a big career. Yeah,
yeah.
Even if nobody knows who he is, you know, he's not like a household name, but he had quite a career.
No, very cool as always, Ross. Thank you. Catching up on some of the comments, Randy said this movie is Tarzan, Conan, and a petting zoo.
Yeah, he was more Tarzan than Conan, I think. Marc Singer.
Yeah,
I mean, his build, you know.
Yep, I would agree with that. Paul said, actually, I wonder if having a score as strong as Sword and Sorcerer might not have helped pace this movie better.
I agree, 100%. 100%. I was thinking that when I was watching it.
That's a very valid point.
With apologies to Lee Holdridge.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But no, we've seen in different things how music has a huge impact on a story, whether it be television or film. Yeah. Randy said, okay, so what is the Neil Diamond Space 1999 connection? I honestly don't know.
He's joking, I think. Yeah.
I think so too.
All roads.
Jeff said, gotta go a bit early. Great show. Watch out for them Black Tigers. Take care, Jeff. Have a good night. And thanks for coming on as always. Much appreciated. And yeah. Well, I think we're going to wind it down. I think we hit all of our points. We talked. Yeah, we really covered everything in regards to the movie. If you haven't seen this film, definitely check it out. It's not terrible. They're just better sword and sorcerer movies, but I don't want to take away from this film because it does have its positive points. We'll just say.
And I figured everybody must have seen it, but maybe they haven't.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody has.
But it had a lot of popularity in the 80s. Yeah.
Absolutely. Bill said, to be honest, I think your digressions is why I enjoy this so much. Thanks, Bill. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
We hear that a lot. And that makes us happy.
We didn't take the bait too bad with Indiana Jones this week. It was getting close though. Roy was starting to boil. I could see.
I'm just not a fan of the second one. Just like you're not the fifth movie fan.
Right.
It's all good. And again, we respect everybody's opinions. It's not. I'm definitely not like that, and I know Ross isn't either.
What's that?
Feeling that you have to impose your feelings onto others.
Oh, never.
Like no.
Yeah.
And I'm totally not like that. But if I don't like something, I'm not going to just say I like it because worried about offending anybody. I'm not just going to. But anyway. Randy said there was a Neil Diamond album cover loosely associated with Space 99. I will get details. Oh, okay. I did not know that. So thanks for sharing. That'll be easy to find out.
Put on all right. Art light. Yeah, but go ahead.
Going to the shout outs. So I want to give a shout out. We're talking about Mike and Mary Beth. And actually, I stand corrected. I don't think they know what they're doing. Whoops. As far as this Wednesday. I
don't think they know what they're doing. Whoops.
This Wednesday, because
what's wrong with that statement?
Because when I was watching, I think they were trying to figure out what they were going to be doing. And anyway, but I will give a plug for their show, which is on Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it can be watched on YouTube as well as Facebook. And again, it's Sci-Fi Distilled, and that's for our friends Mike and Mary Beth. So definitely check them out. I'm sure that they will be posting what they will be doing probably tomorrow, and they will let you know. But again, this Wednesday, June 3rd. Incidentally, if you are a classic Star Trek fan, June 3rd, 1969 was the last final broadcast date of the episode Turnabout Intruder, and which was the first run of Turnabout Intruder back in 1969. That was I guess you could say the series closed. Well, it wasn't really like a finale, but it was the last episode of classic Star Trek. So June 3rd. And also thinking of Zoe on June 3rd, our cat. Anyway, Next up, want to give a shout out to our friend Bill Scarrato for Country Gate Theater. And if you are in the Belvedere, Harmony, New Jersey area, you will want to check out Country Gate. Their website is www.countrygate.org, and you can visit Bill at his website, which is www.billscarrato.com. And scheduled is the Addams Family Musical, which is part of the youth performance workshop that Bill does. And the dates for the performance are Friday, July 24th at 7 p.m., Saturday, July 25th at 1 p.m., and Sunday, July 26th at 1 p.m. So definitely check it out, Country Gate. And also talking about Star Trek Original Series Set Tour. William Shatner is returning next month, which is next month being June 1st tomorrow. So next month will be this month shortly. And the dates are June 25th to June 28th. For information, go to www.startrektour.com. It is the 60th anniversary of Star Trek. A lot of cool stuff going on at the set tour. So William Shatner will be there. Barbara Luna is going to be there. Franz Nguyen is also going to be there. Also, Robert Metz, who was a security guard in the episode of Mirror Mirror, he's going to be there. Louise Sorel, who was Ron in Requiem for Methuselah, is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people there, too. Darren Dockerman will be there as well for the Inglorious Trexperts. Yeah, check out the site, the website. Again, it promises to be a really good time. I'm going to be up there volunteering as well. So we'll hope to see a lot of folks up there. And also want to give a shout out to our friend Captain Phil from Captain Phil's Planet, WUSB 90.1 FM, Stony Brook, New York. The captain's schedule is on Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. He is also on Friday nights from 10 to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, except the fourth Friday of each month. Check out Captain Phil. Also, want to give a shout out to Abnormal Fixation, our friend John Kenneth Muir. The second season is out there. You can watch it and also tune in. Look out for this. Stay tuned for Monstrous Mary, which is the final episode of the second season. And it's an independent standalone episode. And John and company are in the process of filming the third season, which will be premiering next year. This show has won an amazing amount of awards, and it's special to I have a special place in my heart for this show because it really just made me smile during some tough times. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It is amazing and excellent. Also, shout out to Eagle 1976. This is a revisioning of the Mattel Eagle from 1976. Our thanks to Zyka Toys, also Giant Leap, Anderson Entertainment, in regards to Jamie Anderson, in regards to having this, the backing for this. Is amazing. Oh, and in the background we can hear M80s going off too. And I thought Memorial Weekend was last weekend.
Gonna start on the 4th.
They're getting ready for your birthday, Ross. But anyway, thank you to everybody that was involved in this amazing project. It was and bring it to make it a reality. I am going to be having Tim Ellis and also Craig Owen on the show sometime in the near next month too. So stay tuned for that. Also, want to give a shout out to Manchester 1999. My friend Warren Friedrich is heading this up. It is all set in regards to a go. Website information, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. www.space199950years.com. Taking place in Manchester, England. And this is Manchester 1999. Scheduled guests Nick Tate, Anton Phillips, Suzanne Heimer Peterson, Carolyn Seymour, also John Hugg. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time. And again, the date's the 11th, 12th, and 13th of September, which is just around the corner. Also, if you haven't heard about the news about Return to Moonbase Alpha, this is going to be the latest in fan films that is in the process. There was an amazing Kickstarter that was done. And again, kudos to Warren for making this happen. And check it out on the Facebook page in regards to information. And the filming will be taking place in September for this as well, too. We thank everyone for their backing for this project. And I want to give a shout out to my son, Ryan. Ryan was down here today, and yeah, we were having some fun. And I want to give a shout out to him for his website, which is Run by Ryan, Empower Your Run. He is an online running coach service provider. It is free to join the website, but if you wish to participate in scheduling, then there are different tiers for that. His website is www.runbyryan.com. And Ross, if you can tell everybody what you've got going on.
These are the 3 recorded shows that I've got right now, but it being Sunday, I have no idea what I'm doing for the next weekend. Often when we do, I mean, all the time when we do Friday, all my weekend shows are in. I haven't done anything yet for next weekend. So Picture Perfect's the movie music show. That's Friday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Sweetness and Light is the light music show. That's Saturday morning at 11 Eastern. And The Lost Chord is Unusual and Neglected classical music, and that's Saturday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern. I say Eastern, even though they're airing out on the West Coast. You can stream them anywhere, but obviously you would subtract 3 hours if you're out in the West. These are the Eastern times. You can find out what I'm doing by checking my Facebook page later in the week as we get toward the weekend at Classic Ross Amico, or you can consult my website at rossamico.com. And that's basically it. I assume I'm going to be doing some American stuff soon for the semi-quincentennial. I might do a series of shows with some American symphonies or something. I don't know. On Picture Perfect, or on the Lost Chord anyway. I don't know what I'm doing on the movie music show. So I got nothing, Roy.
Thanks
for the exposure.
Yeah, of course. And again, the website is kwax.uoregon.edu. And then with that said, Ross and I will be back Friday, June 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Stay tuned. Like I said, I will make an announcement tomorrow, Monday, June 1st, probably by the end of the evening, as far as what we will be doing. So you can mark your calendars for that. And yeah. So there we have it with that. Catching up on some of the comments. Marianne, have a great night, and we'll see you Friday. And thanks, lots of fun with your show. Thanks for saying lots of fun with the show. We're so happy
to
tune in each week. We really appreciate it. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And well, Bill said you'll find out. Yeah, I'll let everybody know tomorrow. I will. And yes, you did hear a boom. That was fireworks going off that M80. Somebody's blowing off. So.
Tonight, big stick goes boom.
Thanks, Dennis. Wishing you a great week ahead, too. Well, thanks, son. And glad you enjoyed it. And, Michelle said that's the day after her birthday. Oh, that's right, Michelle, because your birthday is June 4th, and that was the premiere date of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. I always remember that. So, yes, since we won't see you until potentially Friday the 5th, wishing you a very, very happy birthday, Michelle, and a special day. So, and hope Mark is doing well, too. And, yeah, thank you for always tuning in as well, too. And thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. And Michelle said, yep. And Sean Pertwee is my birthday. Oh, very cool. So there you got it. Yeah, this was a fun one, Ross. We had some fun with it.
Good. Again, Taming of the Shrew might be online. Check it out. See if it's on YouTube. And Lee Holdridge's violin concerto. You can hear the first movement. I mean, you can hear the whole thing probably on YouTube, but check out the first movement. It's nice music.
I think that's great about Marc Singer, though, and to be fair, for this movie, he did a really good job. He played it straight, and he did. It was.
Well, and he was having a good time with it.
Absolutely,
he tried to. Yeah.
Randy said there should be a boom every time you return to the plot. Thanks, Randy. So anyway, folks, we wish you a wonderful week ahead. Yeah, in fact, rabbit with tomorrow. In terms of tomorrow, you're always supposed to say that first thing out of your mouth for the new month. So quote unquote for that. So just remember, supposed to bring you luck for the month. So
it's not Beastmaster.
But any last words, Ross?
No, I already plugged Marc Singer and Taming of the Shrew and Lee Holdridge's violin concerto. So I'm good.
We good? Alrighty. Well, thanks again, folks. As always.
I already did my public service. Yeah.
There you go.
Live
Live
long
long and prosper.
Have a good week.
Take care, everyone. Have a great week.